There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name. Hey, what's going on right now? You're watching Casino Is the Name, and I've been getting a lot of questions about becoming an accountant. There are people who are either in high school, getting ready to go to college, people who are already in college, and they may or may not be already in an accounting program or finance program or economics program. So they may or may not be in one of those programs, but they're looking to either join the program or complete the program. Also people who are just looking to go back to school. Some of them may be 40, 50 years old, looking to go back to college. Some of them are 22 years old and looking to go to college for the first time. But it's a full range of questions, everything from salary to roles to opportunities coming up. Basically, what do we do on a day-to-day? All types of questions. And where do I start? So also, even what education level is required to be an accountant? Okay, so as far as everything that I know, it's definitely going to be a bachelor's degree. You can't be considered an accountant with an associate's degree or some type of certificate. You can get a certificate, or you can either get a diploma or certificate or an associate's degree in accounting, but that doesn't make you an accountant. That just gives you like a background in it, right? But you'll need a bachelor's degree in accounting, finance, or economics, or some other type of business degree where you maybe picked up accounting credits, 30 or so accounting credits, 24 to 30 accounting credits after you finish whatever business program. But you're technically not really considered an accountant unless you have a bachelor's degree in accounting, economics, or finance. So that should sum up most of those questions. Salary, but you could get a master's degree in, so you could, let's say you get a bachelor's degree in business logistics, supply chain management, something like that. But you can get a master's in accounting. That would make you an accountant. At least a bachelor's degree. But if you get a master's degree in accounting or something like that, finance, economics, then yes, you're an accountant. So hopefully that kind of clears up any of those kind of questions. All right, so do you need to get a master's degree to be an accountant? No. That was a question that somebody asked me. You don't need a master's degree. Once you get your bachelor's degree, you're an accountant, right? You don't need a CPA. I saw this guy comment on one of my other videos, and it was hilarious because he's clearly not an accountant, because he said if you don't have a CPA in the state of Texas, you will go to jail for saying you're an accountant. And I actually had to go look this up because I live here in Atlanta, and I was like, what is Texas got going on out there? And I looked it up, and I found plenty of positions for accountants that do not require a CPA. And if you are doing CPA work, then yes, you do need a CPA. But you're not going to go to jail if you say you're an accountant and you have a bachelor's degree in accounting and you're doing accountant work. Yes, you're still an accountant. Like, I don't know what that was about, but it was hilarious. As far as certification goes, there are lots of certifications. You know what? I'll cover that last. So salary, let's talk about the money, right? That's what people want to know. How much money can you make being an accountant? It's a complicated question. Only because there are so many roles that you could do, right? You could be a CFO, that's an accountant. Chief Financial Officer, that is an accountant's role, right? I saw a chart saying that CFO salaries are average around $400,000 a year. Can you be a CFO with only a bachelor's degree in accounting? It's possible. Could it be highly competitive? It's more than likely going to be highly competitive. You may be up against people who have master's degrees, but the best part about working in corporate America is the fact that, or just in the world, right? It's just that experience. So if you've shown that you've led XYZ, you have such amount of leadership skill and whatever else, and you have the degree in accounting, then technically you're an accountant. It would just depend on what that business is looking for and what people you're up against. Because even though you may have less education, you may have led, a company that you might have had 500 employees under you before. And so you may be up against people who've never supervised anybody outside of 3 people, or maybe it's the type of work that you're familiar with. So you just may have more years of experience doing a particular type of role, and that CFO position is looking for somebody with that type of expertise. So yes, you can be a CFO with only a bachelor's degree. But so CFO salary can be $400,000 or so up to the millions. And of course, in some situations, CFO salary is much less. I know if you work, say, for some agencies, their CFO salary is going to be $90,000, $100,000. It just depends on the agency you work for. But corporate America, I've seen CFOs get millions, and so then it kind of usually just comes down from there. Definitely have seen auditors making the top auditor salary that I've seen was about 200 and something thousand. About 280,000 or so. That was the top auditor salary that I've seen. Sorry, my phone is going off. But that's the top auditor salary that I've seen. But of course, I've seen them all the way down to 35,000 or so, right? Like, it just depends on the agency you work for, the organization, the city that you're in. But could you be a $280,000 salaried auditor with a bachelor's degree in accounting? Absolutely. I don't know what the averages are for that, but I would say you'd easily hit 6 figures, easily 100,000 in audit. And accountant salary, I've seen, like, just to be in the role of an accountant, I've seen right around 300,000. Just depends on what your role is. Now, if you work at the Big Four, I've heard the Big Four salaries hit 400,000 after about 15 years. If you hit senior partner, 400,000 plus. So you can end up making well over $400,000 as a senior partner at an accountant firm like Big Four. But there's a lot of variables here, right? So there's all types of variables, but I chose accounting because I love accounting. I personally like it. I'm an accountant by nature. Like, I'm always doing budgets and, looking over things and, fine details. And so that's just me by nature. But I do know people who just did it for the money. And if you ask me, would it be good with the money, for the money, based on, compared to other degrees, then I would say absolutely. The financial sector is one of the highest paid sectors in the world. There are definitely accountants making millions of dollars a year, especially the ones who are in roles of hedge fund managers or things like that. There are definitely billionaires who are accountants. It just depends on the role that you're in. If you're looking just for a job, in my opinion, accounting is the most respected business degree. I can pretty much go into any, say if you supply chain management, there's an actual degree in supply chain management, but supply chain and all that kind of stuff is like, all of this stuff is still connected to accounting, because accounting is not math. Accounting is what it says. It is accounting. So accounting for something. So in supply chain, you need to account for things, and you need to track them, and you got FIFO, LIFO, things like that, last in, first out, first in, first out. You got all of those kind of things. And so a lot of this all still comes back to some level of accounting. So if there's a position for somebody who to work in, say, supply chain management than somebody with an accounting degree can still fit in that role. And even if it was just somebody to manage the floor or to manage an office, somebody with an accounting degree can still do that. You don't have to have a business management degree. But the one thing that nobody else can do is, if you have a bachelor's in business administration, you cannot go into an accountant position. If you have a degree in supply chain management, you cannot go into an accountant position because it requires a certain amount of college credits. You would either have to go back to college and go pick those credits up, or you just won't be able to get in that position, which makes no sense then. If you just want to get one degree that's going to satisfy pretty much everything else, why not just get the accounting degree? But there are plenty of different roles. You could, with accountant, like say if you're in an accountant position, you're probably going to be doing something with the general ledger, stuff like that, like tracking funds, moving, it's just, look it up, look it up, look it up. And there's different types of audit. There's assurance audits, there's performance audits, there's all types of audits. Look it up, but it's great. I love it. You would too. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Holla at your boy. Chill. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. It's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.